The classic Titans team is back, and this time, Red Hood's on it. That's right, they're trying to match up the comic book team to the TV show, and these first two issues are incredible. Welcome to the Comicstorian channel, where I take some of your favorite trade paperbacks and single issues and I break them down into digestible bites to help you understand. Then I read them dramatically back to you. All alterations of the panels, text, and images are to prevent copyright problems, and all art is owned by its respective companies. Basically, guys, we take a synopsis of your favorite storylines, break them down to give you just a bit of the context so that you can go out and buy the issues, getting more art, more context, or see the next issue and see what's going on. So today we're going to be bringing you Titans United issues 1 and 2, a 7-issue miniseries that just started over at DC Comics. And basically, it's literally the team from the HBO Max Titans TV show, but with Red Hood on them. It seems like they're trying to use Red Hood a lot more, and I'm not going to complain about that, except on my podcast. So let's go ahead and get into the issues today, as this is the beginning and I have no background to give you. It was a quiet day in San Francisco when Evan walked home from a day out with his friends. He called his girlfriend, telling her yes, he's on his way home, and no, they're not bad people, they're just his buddies, But before he could finish that sentence, he screeches as he is suddenly tearing a building apart with heat vision eyes. The debris begins to come down on a mother and child, and in the last second, there's a red blur, and the young boy looks up. It's Superman! Superboy looks down. No, not quite, but a lot of people make that mistake. Red Hood chimes in. All right, what's the plan, Nightstick? Evan yells to make it stop, and Donna tries to deflect the beam until they can figure out what to do. Raven then attempts to read his mind, stating that she doesn't sense any malice. But as Evan feels her close, he spins back, turning into a giant green gorilla, smacking her away, shouting, "Do not touch me!" Beast Boy sees this, going, "Look, I have no idea who you are, but I know copyright infringement when I see it." So Beast Boy changes into a lion, lunging in, and then he's suddenly blasted away with solar powers that nearly kill him. Starfire catches him, telling him that it was a star bolt. First Connor's heat vision, then Beast Boy's abilities, and now hers. The others attempt to fly in and stop Evan, but Superboy flies up, helping some of the people from the destroyed buildings. But as he gets to the top, his powers begin to fade. He literally can't fly anymore, and he begins to plummet back to the earth. Red Hood fires his grappling hook, catching him. Performance issues? You do realize you're supposed to rescue them, right? Beast Boy then turns into a pterodactyl, grabbing the falling people. Don't worry, I was only knocked out for a second. Back on the ground, Evan turns into a rhinoceros, charging into Nightwing as Red Hood tells him, "Forget this, I'm putting him down." Donna grabs her lasso, telling him, "We aren't doing anything. We have to calm this man down." And as Donna tries to control Evan, Radio tries to put him to sleep, but something begins to happen. His body begins to glow red as his solar energy begins to surge. Starfire yells it is too much for her to absorb. Whoever this man is, he is going supernova. And while Starfire does what she can, Raven attempts to put Evan to sleep again, but as she touches him, her hands get scorched. Superboy runs in, yelling out, "He's gonna take out half the city. I only know one way to deal with a bomb." He begins to rocket straight into the sky, and as they get far enough away, Evan explodes. Donna and Starfire try to rush in to catch Superboy, but he ends up falling too fast, plummeting into the ground, creating a crater. Later, as he wakes up in the Titans med bay, Starfire tells him to take it easy. His arm is broken. He pauses. Broken? Yeah, it should be impossible. But over in the command room, Nightwing begins to access the Bat computer, stating that he checked the files. The man was Evan Morton. Ex-con, but mostly small stuff, hadn't even gotten a parking ticket since his release. However, there's no evidence of metahuman abilities in Morton's records. He's as average as they come. Superboy chimes in that no one is just average, and Red Hood asks, "Are you sure about that? Actions speak louder than words, and without powers, what good are you?" The two of them begin to argue back and forth, but Beast Boy breaks them up as Red Hood taunts him one more time, calling him a wannabe Superman. And Superboy turns and punches him in the face. Everyone snaps to Superboy, asking what was he thinking? He could have killed Red Hood. And Red Hood wipes the blood from his mouth. Well, he didn't. I've taken harder punches from Batmite. Just shows you ain't so super anymore, Superboy. Just then an alert comes in and Hawk appears on the screen, stating that he can't believe that he is about to say this, but he needs help in Washington, D.C. He and Dove are getting their butts handed to them by Chuck Brown. Red Hood pauses. Wait, did I hear that right? The Great Hawk and Dove need help with Kite Man? What's wrong with everyone today? Hawk says that it's funny that he should say that because he was wondering the same thing and why Kite Man suddenly has magical powers. Hawk then throws down his phone. Screw this! I don't have time to wait! Red Hood's right. I can handle this jerk by myself. Nightwing tries to tell him to stand down as the Titans are on their way, but Hawk charges in, hitting Kite Man, telling him not to put myself out, but I got this. Dove struggles against her magical restraints, telling him that he is too powerful, and Hawk says, powerful? Kite Man's a joke! And Kite Man turns to him, yeah? And he changes into a green tiger, slashing, asking, who's laughing now, birdie? As Nightwing and the others teleport in, Donna yells they need to stop Kite Man before he goes the same way as Morton. Kite Man laughs, using Superboy's frost breath, asking, Morton? This has nothing to do with that, loser! But while everyone tries to keep Kite Man back, Superboy goes back to the computer to find out if there's anything linking Kite Man to Morton, only to discover that the two of them have been in the same penitentiary. Nightwing says that there has to be another link, and Superboy says there is. Dr. Matthew Rosebeck. Both of them were treated while in prison for classified information. As the computer says access denied, it begins to beep, and Nightwing asks what did he do. Superboy tells him not much, but he got the doc's address. Now let's deal with Kite Man and we'll go make a house call. Back in DC, Kite Man begins to gather energy just as Evan did before he exploded. So Red Hood gets ready to put him down, but then Hawk and Dove punch him hard enough to knock him out. At that moment, Nightwing's communicator goes off as he answers it. Yeah, hi Bruce. Yeah, Superboy was just checking. Absolutely. I remember what we agreed on. Nope, won't happen again. But before you go, you didn't happen to see where Superboy went, did you? Elsewhere, Superboy knocks on the apartment door, and as Rosebeck opens the door, he sees Superboy, and he slams it shut. Superboy pushes it open, telling him, look, I just came to talk. And Rosebeck runs out wearing a power glove, punching Superboy. Before Rosebeck could end it, Nightwing and the others teleport in, yelling for him to wait. But Superboy catches the punch, telling him, it's nothing I can't handle, and he crushes the power glove. Rosebeck yells not to hurt him, but Superboy tosses him aside. Nah, we won't, if you tell me what you were doing. Nightwing tries to break him up, but Superboy smacks him away. This power glove, your intel, it's all from Cadmus, where I was cloned from the Big S and Old Man Luther. But this isn't about me. It's about Starfire, Beast Boy, and even Raven. According to this, you've been collecting data for years. You've been collecting their DNA. And it seems that Doc here wasn't just conducting tests, he was giving people powers. As Rosebeck tries to stop him, Superboy's eyes flare up, and he yells that a man is dead, and another could have died today. No one deserves to die, Doc! Raven tells him that he has to calm down, but Superboy shouts, how can I when monsters like him exist? I should have finished Cadmus when I had a chance. Rosebeck then fires back. That's exactly why Operation Safeguard existed in the first place, gathering metahuman DNA, creating a superpowered sleeper agent. It was all for moments like this, when people like you go rogue, Superboy. What are we supposed to do when Superman is compromised? Hell, the entire Justice League. Who's gonna protect us then? Raven tells him that it didn't happen, so why activate the sleeper agents? And Rosebeck finally calms down. That's just it, I didn't. There was a flaw in the genetic sequence, but I wouldn't know for sure without a test subject. I can help you, but you have to keep me safe. We need to protect. Just then, an arrow flies through the window, striking Rosebeck in the chest. Everyone hurries over, but Raven tries to save Rosebeck, as she tells everyone it's too late. Connors scans the area, stating that he could see the archer, and he leaps out to give chase with Nightwing following. As they begin to get close, another arrow whizzes by, and Nightwing pushes Superboy out of the way. As Superboy realizes his powers are continuing to fade because he didn't even see it coming. At that moment, the arrow explodes and the two are blown into the alleyway, with Nightwing coughing, asking if they're still here. But Superboy says whoever it was, they're long gone. Nightwing then radios back stating that they've collected the arrow, and they need to run tests on it. Back at the tower, Nightwing scans the arrow, stating that it is an authentic 15th century broadhead in near perfect condition. This is the mark of Elaine March Morton, aka Lady Vic. Superboy says that that's just it. Lady Vic doesn't use current day explosives. So Raven says that they could see the arrow, so she might be able to trace where it came from, and yes, she sees Lady Vic, and she's preparing to leave the country. So Nightwing decides to take Red Hood and Donna to capture Lady Vic, but Superboy says that this involves Cadmus. He's coming too. Nightwing stops him, telling him no, they have no idea what's going on with his powers, or if there's a link between the sleeper agents. Superboy begins to snap at everyone, pushing Starfire off, pushing Raven away, and Beast Boy tries to get involved, telling him to calm down. They're all just trying to help. But as Superboy knocks Beast Boy away, he tells him, hate to break it to you, but Kite Man did that better. So Superboy flies out asking, yeah? Then why don't you get Kite Man on the team? He takes off, escaping everyone, flying higher and higher into space as he keeps hearing all of the taunts from people like Red Hood and everyone else. But once in space, his powers finally fully fade, and he can't breathe. As he wakes up, he finds himself strapped to a table, and a voice tells him finally he is awake. Superboy asks what is going on, what is all of this? And the voice says that he has so many questions, Boy of Steel. Which would you like me to answer first? And Blackfire sits in her throne, petting a cybernetic lion as it begins to inch its way towards Superboy. And there you have it, the tie-in comic to the show. So far, the plots of the comic's pretty awesome. I'm really enjoying this one. And I like that while it is the cast of the show, they're not just trying to recreate the show. Because, I mean, look, I love the Titan TV show, and you can catch all of my reviews over there with the Comicstorian crew over on Absolutely Marvel and DC. But yeah, I'm glad it's in its own self-contained universe. Please consider pressing that like button and smashing that subscribe button. And if you want to keep up to date as to when the next episode of Titans or Red Hood drops here on the channel, make sure you press that notification and turn it on. And also, one last thing. Look, I know a lot of people don't fully like the Titans TV show, but can we all just agree? The song is literally fire. I've been having it playing over in my ears while reading the script to kind of get into the HBO Max Titans vibe. And it's just like dun 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 dun. It's drilled into my brain. I could just hear the Titans in my brain now, everyone. That's fine, right? That's normal. That's perfectly normal. Dun, 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 dun. I'll see you guys next time right here at Comicstorian. Hopefully I'll stop humming this theme song by then.